Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Cryptonews Weekly Roundup. Your hosts here, Zahab and Rachel Wolfson. I'm still in Toronto. Rachel is still in Paris. Rachel, great to be with you. How wild were those riots earlier this week when PSG won the Champions League? That must have been insane. I mean, I saw your Twitter. It looked like absolute mayhem.
It was crazy, Matt, especially because I'm in the area where basically all of that took place. So obviously heard a lot of noises and saw a lot of destruction the next day. But Paris seems to be recovering and things are going back to normal, I think.
I love it. Classic Paris, riot every day. Got to be one of the biggest riot cities in the world. Time to jump into some crypto. Guys, we said, Rachel and I had a feeling that we were due for a couple of weeks of red, as we did have I think 6 weeks in a row of green, which we love to see. And we got some red this week, but nothing to worry about. Going to start with some price action. Bitcoin's down 3 ticks to 104.5K per Bitcoin. Ethereum is also down just under 3 ticks, to 2.6K per ETH. XRP down 4% to 2.2 per Ripple. BNB down 3.5%, Sol down 11% to just over 150, and Doge, the biggest loser in the top 10 this week, is down 14%, which again was due as they had a couple weeks of run up as well. But the biggest news of the week, and guys, we always record on Thursday, they just went live today. This is great for crypto. This is great for public markets. It's great for everyone. Stablecoins are the future. Rachel, Circle has officially nabbed that NYSE IPO, and they snagged a great price of $1.05 billion.
Yeah, Matt, this is definitely good news. So Circle Internet Financial, the company behind the USDC stablecoin, has priced its initial public offering at $31 per share, raising $1.5 billion and one of the largest U.S. listings this year. The upsize deal confirmed late Wednesday will see Circle begin trading Thursday on the New York Stock Exchange under the ticker symbol CRCL. And just for reference, we are recording this on Thursday. The Boston-based firm, co-founded by CEO Jeremy Aller in 2013, sold 34 million shares in total, with 14.8 million coming from the company and 19.2 million from existing shareholders. Demand was robust, with the offering reportedly more than 25 times oversubscribed by the time books closed on Tuesday. The pricing gives Circle a valuation of $6.9 billion on listed shares and around $8.1 billion fully diluted.
Yeah, pretty wild. And shout out to the Circle team for making this happen. FTX back in the news again, this time for good. The FTX Recovery Trust has officially begun the $5 billion second payout to eligible creditors. This started last week on May 30th and again is being paid out this week and the following couple weeks. Creditors will receive up to 72% payouts, with payments processed via Kraken and BitGo. Distributions could trigger short-term crypto market volatility as recovered funds enter circulation. Could be really good or really bad, or it could just be a little bit of good or a little bit of bad, whether people decide to buy or sell. Rachel, MicroStrategy was in the news this week, but this time they only did a small buy, so we're not covering. The biggest Bitcoin buy of the week was the Japanese MicroStrategy, also known as Metaplanet, and they added 1,000 more Bitcoin.
Yeah, Matt, Japanese firm Metaplanet has expanded its Bitcoin reserves again, acquiring 1,088 BTC at an average price of 15.5 million yen per coin, or about $108,600. The total spend for the purchase came to 16.89 billion yen, equivalent to roughly $118 million, pushing its cumulative Bitcoin holdings to 8,888 BTC. The last acquisition disclosed on Monday is part of Metaplanet's aggressive shift from its origins as a budget hotel operator to a Bitcoin-first corporate treasury model. That's impressive.
Yeah, it is. Great work by the Japanese MicroStrategy. Pump.fun back in the news this week. I still don't know how I feel about this, Rachel. This is a really weird one, but popular Solana-based meme coin generator and the most profitable business in all of crypto, along with Tether, aka Pump.fun, is going to be launching its own token soon. The platform is reportedly planning to raise a whopping $1 billion in a token sale at a $4 billion token valuation. The token will be both sold to private and public investors, the report added. However, it was unable to confirm the exact timing of the token launch. Pump.fun launched in Jan of 2024 with the very, very simple goal of simplifying token creation on Solana, and they've generated more than 700 million in total revenue since launching over a year ago. Those are just absurd numbers with incredibly high profit margins as well. Pump.fun does do a hell of a lot more value extraction than value add, but hopefully they will raise a bunch of money and will perhaps airdrop a bunch back into the space so we can create those positive network effects. Rachel, my favorite piece of news this week, I don't think this got covered enough. This is absolutely huge. JPMorgan plans to let clients borrow against crypto ETFs. It's pretty wild. Tell us what it means.
Yeah, Matt, this is really interesting news that I don't think has gotten a lot of coverage. So JPMorgan Chase and Company will allow select trading and wealth clients to use cryptocurrency exchange traded funds as collateral for loans, according to a report by Bloomberg published on June 4th. The bank will begin with BlackRock's iShares Bitcoin Trust and plans to expand across access to other funds after the rollout. The change applies to clients across wealth brackets and marks a shift in how digital assets are factored into credit decisions. Crypto ETFs move from trading assets to credit instruments, prompting internal policy shifts at major banks and raising questions for global oversight. So this is really exciting news, and I can't wait to see how this plays out moving forward.
Yeah, when JP Morgan comes in the space with very positive sentiment, that is always a good thing. And folks, I don't think they'd be doing this if they didn't think they could profit off this. So hopefully that is good for the long term. Moving forward, Donnie, the orange man, back in the news again. When is he not in the news? But he's back. The Donald Trump affiliated World Liberty Financial, also known as WLF, announced in a June 4th statement that it will airdrop $4 million worth of its new token, USD1, to its native token holders, WLFI, also known as World Liberty Financial. They did successfully airdrop over $4 million, and they gave every WLFI holder 47 US dollars, excluding New York and certain other jurisdictions. Again, they gave everyone 47 because he's the 47th president of the United States of America. Pretty cool here. I think the whole purpose of this was literally to just stress test the ecosystem and to see if it worked, and it certainly did. Good work by the Trump team here. Rachel, RWA token market has grown 260% in 2025 and shows no signs of slowing down as well.
Yeah, so this is really interesting news that came out of Binance research that they shared with Cryptonews. So the RWA market surged more than 260% during the first half of 2025, surpassing $23 billion in total valuation. It was $8.6 billion at the beginning of the year, according to Binance research. Tokenized private credit led the RWA market boom, accounting for about 58% of market share, followed by tokenized U.S. Treasury debt, which accounted for 34%. Keep in mind that RWAs have no dedicated regulatory framework and are still considered securities by the U.S. SEC. However, the sector still benefits from regulatory developments in the broader crypto space, and this is definitely a sector that we're going to see major growth in. So this is a very interesting report from Binance Research. I encourage all of you to check it out.
Yeah, well said there. Cryptonews will be writing an article on this, but in the meantime, shout out Wendy O, Crypto Wendy O on Twitter, friends of Rachel and I, and friends of the show as well. Guys, this is, in my opinion, the shittiest piece of news this week. I hate absolutely everything about this, but we need to discuss it. I'm Canadian, I'm not even American, and this still pisses me off deeply. However, California's lower house has passed a sweeping crypto payments regulating bill that would also allow the state to take idle crypto holdings from exchanges if an owner hasn't accessed their crypto account in 3 years. Again, pretty wild. This allows California to take possession of crypto in a user's exchange account if it hasn't performed an active ownership interest in over 3 years. So if you just have that crypto hodling and haven't touched it, literally the state of California can snag your crypto. This is absolutely bananas. The bill now heads to the California Senate, where it could be modified, rejected, or passed to Governor Gavin Newsom to sign into law or veto. This would go into effect close to a year from now on July 1st, 2026, and prohibit anyone without an exemption from engaging in digital financial asset business activity. Again, I hate this. I can't tell you how much I hate this. This really sucks. It goes exactly towards the opposite of what we're trying to achieve here. But again, you can't win them all. Rachel, last piece of news this week. Elon Musk finally done from his job at Doge. Very upset with Trump's new $5 trillion bill. and he teased a new XChat feature with Bitcoin-style encryption, which is pretty darn cool.
Yeah, I agree. This is pretty cool. So Elon Musk has unveiled that X is rolling out a new feature called XChat built on Rust with Bitcoin-style encryption. He calls it a whole new architecture. On Sunday, Musk teased the launch of XChat, which is an end-to-end encrypted messaging platform. The feature would include disappearing messages and audio and video calling without phone number access on the platform. So basically, he said all new XChat is rolling out with encryption, vanishing messages, and the ability to send any kind of file, which he wrote to his 220 million followers. He also mentioned there would be audio and video calling. This is really cool, and I love to see these integrations on X.
Well said, folks. Hope you enjoyed this edition of the Cryptonews Weekly Roundup. Rachel and I started this close to a year ago today, folks. This is episode number 47. We're going to be coming at you hot with episode number 52 in give or take 5 weeks. And we can't wait to celebrate that year anniversary of this. If you guys enjoyed this one, I hope you did. Please do subscribe. It would mean the world to our team. Hammer that like button as well if you're watching this on YouTube. And guys, we will see you on the next one. Let's hope for some green this week. Let's hope for some shitty bills getting passed as well, or not getting passed rather. And let's hope that the macro market figures itself out too. Guys, appreciate it as always, and we will see you on the next one.
Yes, see you guys next time. And if anybody is at Proof of Talk in Paris next week, I will be there representing Crypto News. So just throwing that out there. Hope to see you guys there and see you next week.
See you guys.